I am finally done with the lining, which took forever. And for the main bodice, I'm using a technique called flat lining. I was just recently introduced to this. Basically, you cut all of the pieces out of fusible interfacing and then you fuse it to your fabric before you cut them out. This keeps the main fabric, which in my case is a satin brocade, from shifting and moving around a lot. When you cut it, it just like maintains its shape really well. This worked really nicely. I attached this gorgeous trim to the princess seams on the front. It took a lot of like tedium and like slow going. I really just took it stitch by stitch. This is sped up 8 times, but look how pretty it turned out. I'm really happy with it, and I think it adds a really nice detail to these princess seams. The pattern calls for some lace applique to be laid over the front bodice, but with the rose pattern of the fabric, I just really don't like how any lace appliques look. The pattern also calls for a secondary ruffle on the sleeve, and I had been kind of humming and hawing about picking a fabric, but I had this gold fabric left over from a prom dress I wound up making this weekend for an adult prom I'm going to, and I really thought that it looks beautiful with the blue. It's not something I would have picked out if I was at the store, but the gold and the blue and the almost liquid shine that this fabric has winds up going together really well. You can kind of see how it looks here. It reminds me of I don't know, some Disney princess or something. I can't put my finger on like what exactly it reminds me of, but it just goes so beautifully together. And the satin that I chose is really stiff, so it maintains its shape and like upward direction really well. It doesn't like fall limp. And these sleeves were French seamed together, which is a nice finish, and there was a lot of gathering involved. Actually, each sleeve took me an hour and a half to gather and just like put together all the pieces. But when I was done, I was just really happy with how the sleeves and everything looked, and I attached the main bodice to the lining. And overall, I'm just so happy with how it's coming together. I really feel like I'm starting to see how it's going to look when it's all done, and I just think it looks like a Barbie princess.